might use the arts to express what he or she learned. And so when you walk into the school, you're going to see that everywhere and ever present. And it's going to be part of the talk, not just among the art teachers, but among all the teachers and among parents coming into school. And to speak more to that, I have Amy Bellin coming up here. She's going to speak a little about the school culture.
Trying to figure out if I am cold because the temperature's cold or if it's the tension in the room. It's probably some of both. So I want to talk about what this school that we're envisioning might look like and feel like. And what's interesting about charters is they are very much driven by their mission, as true with pilot schools too. The mission drives everything that you do. So can you put that down?
That's right.
Okay. So for our school, as Bruce explained, academically accomplished, intellectually curious, and civically engaged are the cornerstones of the mission. So what does that look like? To support academically accomplished students, what we want to look like and we want to emphasize is a community of learners. So for students, what that means and what community of learners actually means is that students learn from parents, from teachers, from administrators, and other students. So everyone involved in the community is involved in the learning. What it looks like for students is that you see students sitting at tables as opposed to desks. That helps facilitate a lot of cooperative learning. So students are both learning and teaching each other. Students working on group presentations to demonstrate their learning. Students working in extended blocks of times so that they can really immerse themselves in the learning. Students are in multi-age classrooms. This, again, encourages older students helping younger students, and you have this whole back and forth of learning going on. School meeting is another avenue to have this community of learnings, and we envision a school meeting, all school meeting, happening every other day at the school, so it's a very present in the school community. And what happens at a school community meeting is that students, teachers, or parents can present on topics that they're interested in or that they want to demonstrate to the learning community. So at a typical meeting, a group of students may present a project, a community might be doing a musical dance performance, or a parent might present on his or her expertise in some area. For teachers, a community of learning looks like teachers harnessing the expertise from their peers that helps them and encourages them in their own work. It's built into the structure of the day so that teachers have regular meeting time daily and weekly and opportunities to visit each other's classrooms. Teachers share both successes and failures, and they share in all the students in the school. So for example, if a teacher is struggling with a particular student in the classroom, they may bring these concerns to the entire faculty. The entire faculty brainstorms and figures out techniques that might be helpful to the student, and the teacher then tries them, but other teachers would also help out. So it's a real community, not one teacher responsible for one kid, but everybody working together. For parents, this community of learners would be that parents are encouraged to help their children at home and to also extend the educational environment into their homes. They are also encouraged to participate, not just present at community meetings, but just be present at community meetings, to participate in the school, to help out, to observe, help out with classrooms. So again, an example for a parent might be at a community meeting. A parent who may be a writer for a profession maybe wants to come in and talk about how you write a book from start to finish. That could be a community meeting. The second aspect of our mission is to promote intellectual curiosity, as Bruce was explaining. And we've sort of outlined strategies based on research that we feel are very helpful in promoting intellectual curiosity. And that is through arts integration, that's through cooperative learning, that's through using alternative assessments, and for the emphasis on community learning, as I explained. So what that looks like Students in the classroom are consistently engaged and challenged in a variety of problem-solving activities, again, largely working in groups and utilizing art forms to demonstrate the knowledge that they're learning from the curriculum. An example, students may be studying the Revolutionary War in humanities, which is a combination of English and social studies. They might present a musical presentation about the songs from the Revolutionary War and understanding sort of the role of how songs were used in that period. Our students might look at Paul Revere's etchings of Boston Massacre, and they might explain why Revere created this particular etching. Okay, so there could be many ways to integrate the arts. Materials and elements of the arts will be readily available to students as they work individually and cooperatively. Also to promote intellectual curiosities in terms of assessments, teachers will comment on student work, showing their strengths and areas that they need to work on. Students have the opportunity to work at their own pace, particularly in the multi-age kind of classroom. Teachers acknowledge effort and encourage students to work at their highest potential. So in this way, portfolios is one of the main areas of assessments. There are others. So students wouldn't be getting traditional grades of ABC, but instead they'd be getting narrative comments about their progress. We'd be using a standard-based report card that would also include a narrative. In terms of civic engagement, this would be promoted both formally and informally. A formal way would be using some standard curriculum, such as that generated by Educators for Social Responsibility. That will then we'll also create opportunities for application of civic engagement. So, for example, students will have the community meetings, and they'll also have morning meetings in their classrooms. And on those, it's an opportunity for students to contribute, to learn to listen, and to respect their peers. Students will work together in, again, multi-age advising groups, and in these groups they'll be doing weekly community service for the school community. And in addition, older students would be doing community-related projects that extend to the larger Gloucester community. So, for example, if a class is studying global warming, they might create a carbon footprint for City Hall, allowing the city to see its energy consumption and contribution to global warming. So the three areas of our mission, academically accomplished, intellectually curious, and civically engaged, they drive both the feel and the look of this school. And I want to share also a little story that Peter mentioned, the desire to work cooperatively. And I want to talk a little bit about what that might look like and feel like also, as he's mentioned some issues. Many of us have been drawn to the charter school movement because we feel a strong desire to create something in Gloucester that's new and different, that attracts people, that excites people, that creates something different. It won't be for everyone. I know when years actually before my children started West Paris, they had gotten rid of grades, and the parents had a really hard time with that. So I know Gloucester experimented with that at one time. So just the fact that this school won't have grades appearing ABC on papers, some people that doesn't work for. So it's really clear that this kind of approach, which really falls in more of the progressive kind of philosophy in terms of education, will work for some and not for others. And that's, I think, the beauty of charter schools. There are all different kinds of charter schools when you start looking at them, and we've been looking at a lot. I was in Newburyport working in the school system when the charter school was open there. It's a Montessori charter school. And there was a boy in our school who was really struggling. Year to year, having a tough time in the school. He moved to the charter school the first year it opened, and within a very short amount of time, he blossomed. It was the right environment for him, and the district school was not. And it's not because we weren't trying our hardest, it's not because we weren't really good